Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video from the Thrift Store Prepper, and today we're going to be making jam bombs, not to be mistaken for jambon, the French word for ham. We're going to be making jam bombs, and by jam bombs what we're really going to be doing is repackaging jam to give us a little bit more space in our prepper pantry. Now as you can see here, I've got a jar of apricot jelly which is half full, and the jar is in fact taking up quite a lot of space, and the jar in itself is of use. So what we're going to do is we are going to be repackaging it, and what we're going to be doing is putting them into our little mylar weed baggies that I get my weed delivered, and what I save, and what I do have quite a large collection of. And not only are we going to be making some jam bombs, we're also going to be maybe repackaging our Aunt Jemima's to save some room from this big bulky box, and I think maybe it even has a little leak somewhere. And we might even do something about repackaging these pickles rather. Not repickling these packages, but repackaging these pickles, because again there's a jar there that is of use. We could use that for another purpose, and it's kind of taking up space. So you know, I've got a whole bunch of different sized baggies here, and oh, before I get, there's a bag of, I think, cheese sauce that somehow got in the back of the drawer and is left alone. So we're going to put that in something else, and we're actually not going to be needing the cooked ham or the jambon for this particular incident. Anyone who is wondering about jam bombs, it is a little bit of an Easter egg and a shout out to a comedy hero of mine, Alan Partridge, who's due to return to the BBC this coming month on the 25th, I believe, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But if you are familiar with the character, then you will know where jam bombs come from. As I said, we're not here to talk about Alan Partridge today. We're here to make jam bombs, which originates from the Alan Partridge novel Nomad, as I said. So we're going to be using that as a little bit of an inspiration to do something in repackaging. So let's have a look. This is going to be a pretty easy thing to do, and we're going to get ourselves I guess this size bag. You think that's going to be big enough? I think so. Now these have had marijuana in them before, and I do live in Canada where marijuana is legal, so don't feel worried about my promoting illegal substances, because where I live it's allowed, and you can do it in front of cops. So these are the bags I get and I save up, and I'm not sure if I should save this one for pickling and see if we can maybe put the jam bombs in smaller bags. Yeah, you know what, that's what we're going to do. Let's use the smaller bags. So we've got a couple of clear ones here, and we're going to see how much jam we can get in a bag to repackage. So we're going to open it up, and again the THC residue hopefully will be an added ingredient, and a welcome added ingredient in the event that you may need this in an emergency scenario. A little bit of THC might be something you'll be very welcome of. So anyway, no further ado, let's start making our jam bombs. So very simply, we're using a spoon that come from Wendy's that we got for free. So we're keeping this very thrifty and within the realms of the thrift store prepper, recycling and using things over again. And as you can clearly see here, we're just taking spoonfuls of jam and putting it into our bag. And I might have to get in there and break it up a little bit at the bottom, because it does get a little bit solid. I don't know if this is actually going to be a good thing to do for preservation purposes, but you know, the jar is open, it's been open a while, it's taken up a lot of space. Let's try and reduce that space and free up our jar for something else. You know, we can store some water in there, or we can use it to make our own pickles at a future date. So keep going with the jam. We're trying not to make a mess, and so far we're doing pretty good. Normally by now, if we were doing a prison recipe, I'd have ramen noodles everywhere and probably a couple of spillages of water. So I'm not going to go much further. I think that's about all we can get in there. I think I got my little trusty cloth somewhere that I can just give this a little wipe out on the top just to make sure it's not sticky. And it looks like I may have overdone it a little bit, but I think I've managed to get that closed, and yeah, a little bit too much, so you can see we've got a little excess there. So what we're going to do is just clean it with our teeth. That's right, and let's scrape that out, and there we go. That's nice and clean. And after all, this is just for me, nobody else. And there we have a perfectly sealed jam bomb. Now, if I can remember where I put my lighter, there it is, it's in my pocket. We can heat seal it. And no further ado, I get our trusty lighter heat in the back there, and we'll do the same on the front and the top. And just give that a rub down like this. And there we have a heat sealed jam bomb. So let's make another one. We've got another little bag here. It's a very boring video, and not very exciting to be watching, I'm sure, but you know, some people do find these things soothing, and I've even been told that they have an ASMR effect, so maybe playing with these little baggies and scooping out gooey jam is making somebody tingle, but who knows. We're going to keep making our jam bombs. I think we're going to be able to make at least 2 of these, and still trying not to make a mess. Would you look at that, we're almost getting professional. So there we go, push it down as much as we can. And I'm sure there could be an easier and more efficient, less time consuming way to do this, but hey, it doesn't matter. You've got nothing else better to do, and if you're watching this video, then I'm guessing you really don't have much else better to do than watch someone take jam from a jar and put it in a disused marijuana baggie, and is using jam bombs as clickbait to appeal to the Alan Partridge fan base to maybe click on this link and watch this video. So if that was one of you, thanks for watching, and thanks for falling into my clickbait. So keep going with our jelly here, and I think maybe another couple of spoonfuls, and we can complete this one. So we're trying to push it down as much as we can, so we don't have the same mishap as before, but there you go, pops right in, and we're just going to give it one final scrape. Pushing all that down. Lick the spoon. So get our cloth, give this a wipe, give that a wipe, give the front a wipe, and let's see if we can close this. No, we're going to lose some. We overdid it. Never mind. You know, you live and learn, and this is the first time I've done this, and by now people who are following the thrift store prepper know we don't edit things, we don't cut things, we don't reshoot things, we just make shit up as we go along. And here you can see we've had a little bit of a mishap, but that doesn't matter. Life's all about mishaps and little accidents, and a little bit of spilt jam's not going to hurt anyone. So let's just take a little bit out, and we're going to repeat the process. There we go, we've managed to get that sealed. And using my teeth there, I've just scraped the excess jam out of the crevice and of the sides, wipe that off. If I can remember where I put my lighter, there we go. And we're going to heat seal this up. So there you go, we got a couple of jam bombs. And you know, these are things that you can make and throw into your bug in but out bag, or your camping bag, or you know, even your lunch sack, things like that, because you know, sometimes you don't always want to use a whole jar of jam, and especially for someone who lives on your own, then maybe you know, a whole jar might go bad. So you can portion it up like this, and there you go, we've got two perfectly heat sealed jam bombs and an empty jar which we can clean out and we can use for something else. And obviously, you know, we can hold on to our spoon. So let's put the Aunt Jemima's aside, and there you go. I thought that was going to be more difficult than it was because I had greasy fingers from the jam. And what we're going to just do here is the same principle. If we can. They seem to be stuck. Whoa! Would you look at that? And there you go. We did have a little bit of a mishap, but that doesn't matter. Just pick those up, toss those in, and there you go. I was trying to be quick and fancy, and look at the mess we made. So we don't need that anymore. Let's get our trusty rag, and I think I might even have to take a quick break to wash my hands before we go any further. And there you go. I'm actually not going to heat seal these because I'm probably going to use these at some point, but there you go. We've saved space again, and we've got another jar that we can use. There's actually some more stuff in there we should probably scrape out. And you know what, we're just going to use the same spoon. We don't care. This is simulating an emergency scenario. Look, when we've only got one spoon, and yeah, you're right, there's a good amount in there. So, you know, I'm trying to get as much as we can out of this. And I probably should have done this with the spoon in the first place. And there we go. So push that down so we don't get any leaks. And again, just give that a little seal. And before we go any further, let's just wipe down. So we're going to pause quickly while I wash my hands. Alright, we're back. So let's move our jars to the side, put the lids to the side, and somehow, somewhere, oh, there's the other one on the floor. We'll try and keep those together. This should be a cleaner, more easier process than the previous two, but we're going to put our cheese sauce in what was once, I believe, 1/4 ounce of pink fire OG. And I'm sure I can't remember whether or not it was a good smoke, but that was what was in it before. And what we're doing now is we're going to transfer some cheese sauce. So again, we're going to try not to make a mess, and hopefully this is going to go in, and if not, we can maybe make two. Packages if we need be, but I think we might be good. And yeah, there you go, we've got a little bit of a mess, but let's push it down some more. I think there's just a little bit left. Yeah. I think that's everything. So there you go, you can see we've saved some room and space and put this in a much more reliable, and the table's a little bit wet because I just wiped it, so we're kind of making a cheese sauce on the tabletop. This really is turning out to be quite a messy video, despite all the efforts to make it not a bit messy video. So again, let's get our heat sealing going. give that a rub down with the lighter, and there we've got a sealed portion of cheese sauce, which I'm sure requires milk and eggs and stuff, but there you go. I'm pretty sure you could put it together with some just water if need be. So we're going to try the Miss Millie's, not Miss Millie's, the Aunt Jemima's pancake. Now I'm almost certain this is going to make more mess than we could possibly imagine. So get ready for some kind of epic fail if you are watching. As I say, we don't edit these videos, we just keep them going as much as we can. At the most we do just pause. So far pain-free. Let's give the box a little bit of a squeeze, try and break it up because it seems to be a little bit packed together. There you go, it's coming out a little bit better and easier. And again, I think we may have a little too much in there, so what we will do is, before we do make more of a mess, we're going to try and transfer some into another bag. So, as I say, it is lucky that I have quite a few of these bags. And this is the instant mix. You do just only have to add water to this. So it is a pretty good item to have in your box. I'm not actually sure if we're going to be saving space or making space, but what we are doing is making a more sturdy and long-term solution. You know, at the end of the day, small rodents could get into your pancake mix and chew through the cardboard. If you did have that happen to you, that wouldn't be too nice, finding rat droppings in your Aunt Jemima's. So putting them in these bags hopefully should give them a little bit more durability for storage, or, you know, again, if you wanted to take this on a camping trip, it's certainly easier to toss one of these bags in your bag than have to cumber around one of these boxes, you know. So there are only reasons for repackaging this, and as I say, we're making something a little bit more sturdy. And there you go, we are making a mess, but at this point, who really cares, you know? You can't make an omelette without cracking eggs, as they say, and what's the use in crying over spilt milk? In this case, our spilt milk happens to be complete pancake mix, which I'm guessing, if there is milk powder in this mix, which there all but certainly is, then this technically is some form of spilt milk. So there you go. Not sure where I was going with that, or what I was meant to be philosophizing or giving you wisdom, but, you know, part of the reason we do this is to show that I am very much a real person. I do make mistakes, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I have good ideas and intentions, and you can see here the theory, if maybe not the practice, is perfect. So, you know, there's many ways. If you had a funnel, or maybe if we had a scoop, this could be a lot easier. We give that a bit of a bash. It's a little bit squashed down here and packed in at the bottom. So hopefully, there you go, we spilt some over me. And that's made 3 pretty decent sized pancake bags. So there you go, and as I say, you can see how much more resilient these bags will be. And you know what, maybe here, that one's a little bit fuller than this one. Let's try and make it a little bit even. And again, you know, you could portion this out a lot better than I have if you were that way inclined and wanted to kind of, you know, ration yourself to daily amounts or weekly amounts. But there you go, you know, we've utilized quite a lot of space, and just by doing that, or at least made things a little bit more sturdier. So it's going to go in our prepper pantry a lot easier, free up some space, and we're certainly not going to have clumbersome items like jars, but we are going to keep them, rinse them out, try and figure something out to do with them. And here you can see we've got jam bombs, we've got repackaged pickles, and we've got our repackaged cheese sauce. And I've still got a bag spare where, you know, if you were eating your jambon and you'd opened the can and you needed to keep it, you could toss it in one of these bags and keep it fresh for a couple of days while you're out hiking, if you had one of these in your backpack. Or if it was in your emergency prepper larder, you could, again, you know, once you open it and you haven't eaten it or you're trying to portion it out or ration it over a couple of days, you can pop it back in this bag and keep it as fresh as you could be. So, all that being said, probably no one's going to give this one a thumbs up or like or share it, and I'm pretty certain no one's going to be subscribing on the back of this video, so there's no need for you to be doing any of that shit or hitting bell icons to get notifications or anything like that. Just the fact that you watched it is good enough for me. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't, who knows. But as always, it's been a shit video production for the Thrift Store Prepper. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.